Fighter, you ready?
Combate Global.
Oh, what a punch. What an incredible fight. Can you believe what you just saw? We have a champion.
Welcome everyone to the season opener of Combate Global. If you can't tell from the skyline, we are coming to you from Miami, Florida. Don't get jealous looking at those beaches. We are inside right now at Univision Studios, and it is red hot outside and red hot inside with the action we have going on tonight. We have a great main card to kick off tonight. It is going to be a banger. That's right, Jimmy Smith alongside my broadcast partner, Rodolfo Roman. Great to be with you. We are getting it done the right way, which is starting off with action.
Oh, and you know, if you are a fan of Combate Global, if it's your first time, whatever it may be, enjoy it because the first few fights are very exciting throughout the night. You're going to have a lot of fun here, especially with this one coming up with Cubillo and Gonzalez.
Well, what we have, of course, is a kickboxing sensation in the women's division at 110. When you have 80 Muay Thai fights, that is absolutely incredible. We start off with the men, Mauricio Cubillo versus Alex Gonzalez, El Pupi versus El Coyote, and you know, who's the big dog, who bites harder?
El Pupi, pura vida de Costa Rica para Cubillo, taking on Gonzalez all the way, representing Mexico. Really looking forward to this one, Jimmy, as we get ready to meet both these competitors inside La Jaula.
Well, to do that, it's going to take Omar Amador getting it started for us in La Jaula.
Haciendo su entrada a la jaula, making his way to la jaula, Mauricio Cubillo.
Don't let the nickname fool you. He goes by El Pupi, but you know, he got that name in elementary school. It doesn't have to do with his fighting skills. That isn't it. He grew up with that nickname. He fights fierce.
He's a vicious Pupi, I'll tell you that much. Listen, this man is from Costa Rica. Not too many Costarricenses competing in mixed martial arts. He considers himself a pioneer, leading the path in the world of MMA in his home country, the Central American country of Costa Rica. He's actually an ambassador for a non-profit organization called Dejando Huellas, which actually helps many athletes in his home country. What's very exciting about this guy, I had a conversation, he told me, look, the previous two fights I had in Combate, I just haven't felt my weight. This time around, I've been putting in the work. I'm very confident. He trains out of Santa Ana Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Striking Performance Center in San Jose. And look at him. I think what's going to make the difference too, Jimmy, and we really haven't mentioned it a lot, but it's the fans. Okay, when you have that fan support, you saw how he came in all excited. Huge difference in a fight.
Fan energy, he's going to feed off that. His opponent, of course, needs to do the same. Take it away, Omar.
Y ahora su oponente hace lo propio. Now his opponent, Alex Coyote Gonzalez.
Alex Gonzalez started out studying the law, then decided, you know what, that's a little too boring. I think I'll go into MMA, but very, very focused. He's a cerebral kind of guy. When you ask him about fighting, he talks about the Book of Five Rings, the art of war, the mental side of warfare. That's what he's great at.
And he got his nickname after attending a Dia de los Muertos parade. A man was wearing a coyote as a head cover, and he said, look, I'm sticking to it. That's how much of a vicious man he is, and you're right. He's a very studious person. He might have pursued that law degree, and that's fine. He could always come back to it, but he's a reader. And when you get a man who reads a lot and puts that stuff inside La Jaula, makes him a very dangerous person. Trains out of the MMA lab, the home of Benson Henderson, and so many great...
Just retired.
Just retired.
Fighter.
Right. So this is a stud right here in South. Hasn't gone his way up a couple of times, but he's been fixing his holes. We're going to see a very different man inside La Jaula here tonight against Cubillo.
Let's take a look at the numbers as they go head-to-head in La Jaula here at Combate Global. And here are the numbers, the stats. Obviously, Cubillo a little bit older, a little bit shorter. Reach exactly the same. Weigh-in difference nominal. Not about the numbers in this fight.
Absolutely not. Listen, I'm not talking myself, but I always see that if you do have that height disadvantage, sometimes the shorter guy has the advantage. You're able to work the body a lot more. That's just my opinion, and that's what I think.
As we say in MMA, you're tall, fight tall. You're short, fight short.
That's right.
Omar, get it started for us.
Ya estamos listos para este combate con mucha más acción, pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en el peso gallo. We are ready for this bout set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes in the bantamweight division. Judges are, los jueces son Richard Green Jr., Mark Streisand, James Lázaro. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, el momento ha llegado. Damas y caballeros, es tiempo para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing in the blue corner, sube con récord de 10 victorias, 7 derrotas, with a record of 10 victories, 7 defeats, vistiendo de blanco y los colores de Costa Rica, wearing white and the Costa Rican flag colors. Registró un peso oficial de 134.8 libras. He stepped in with an official weight of 134.8 pounds. Es de San José, Costa Rica, Mauricio Cubillo. Y su oponente en la esquina roja, now his opponent in the red corner. Sube con un récord de 4 victorias, 4 derrotas. He steps in with 4 victories and 4 defeats. Vistiendo todo de rojo, wearing all red. Registró un peso oficial de 136 libras. He tipped the scale at 136 pounds. Es de Phoenix, Arizona, vía Ciudad de México, Alex Coyote Gonzalez. El referee de este combate es Christopher Magnoni.
Right,
The referee for this bout is Christopher Magnocchi.
I want a clean fight. Cuídate todo el tiempo. Protect yourself all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Buena suerte a los dos.
And we are underway, our season about to begin. Mauricio Cubillo versus Alex Gonzalez. Cubillo in the right, in the white, Gonzalez in the red.
Are you ready? Fight!
And we are underway. Here's round 1.
Cubillo needs that victory, Jimmy. He needs to get back in the winning column. He's had 2 defeats. Again, he took those fights. He said he didn't feel the type of way. But now he's had that full camp. He's been able to put his time and energy, really focus on his opponent. As for Gonzalez, he's coming off a defeat against Fabian Sentis of Spain. He said, listen, the reason why I really fought that last fight is because my opponent didn't want to exchange. I had to chase him.
Big takedown by Cubillo, going straight to the back, just one hook in.
Cubillo, I'm telling you, is that fan energy.
And that's 2.
Working on that jits.
I know it's easier earlier on in the fight, not a lot of sweat. We're only just past 40 seconds in, and Cubillo already on the back of Gonzalez.
A good way of positioning that right leg of Cubillo there, but Alex Gonzalez, look at that leg right there that he hooks.
Good reversal by Alex Gonzalez.
Now, Cabello does have a defeat against Justin Vazquez, who's in the main event here tonight. He went the distance, and he did a very similar situation right here where he would call his opponent to the ground. I don't think Gonzalez want to go toe-to-toe on the ground here. Well, he go ahead and took he took it in. Say you want to go toe-to-toe, do-si-do? He took it.
Alex Gonzalez trying to get it going with his ground and pound. Was not satisfied with his last fight. He said, I learned a lot about going back to the gym and recognizing what you need to fix. We talked about Cubillo being cerebral. Similar approach from Gonzalez in the preparation for this fight.
Cubillo working in some great stuff there with them elbows, laying him in. You know what a victory would be? He's searching there for that arm.
Wrist control usually means the triangle setup lets it go.
Gonzalez, though, good posture, positioning his hip, Jimmy.
You told, when we were talking about this fight earlier on, you said the problem with Cubillo tends to fight, and I know it's the same thing, he tends to fight in sports, going to heel hook, straight ankle lock. That is tight. Looking to extend. Oh, now it's torquing on the knee. Good job rolling out.
This is Cubillo's game right here. He likes to be in the ground. Gonzalez is taking it for a ride as well.
But to my point, you said that Cubillo tends to fight in spurts. Right? He'll attack and then take a little time to regroup and not quite keep the attack going. Are you seeing more of that now?
Yes, but if I'm Gonzalez though, but he's taking it. Usually another fighter will be frustrated, but Gonzalez is answering his challenge.
If you're on top, you're winning in the eyes of most judges. Right now, Gonzalez not taking a lot of risks on top. Short hammer fist, basically trying to stabilize this position.
Look at Cubillo's nose there, a little red already.
Hammer fist right down the center will do that. Long legs from Cabello, excellent guard, but working guard in MMA, totally different skill set.
Whole different ball game. The shots, the hammer fist, shots to the rib. And look at those hammer fists he was working on Gonzalez there.
Versatility on the attack from Alex Gonzalez. Started out training boxing, so it was too dangerous. Ended up switching to MMA.
What I like here that Gonzalez is pushing Cubillo towards the howler. And you know, Jimmy, when you get closer to the howler there for the ground, the man at the bottom, it's a very difficult position for him to work on anything.
Yeah, it can be incredibly uncomfortable. Also, Alex Gonzalez doing a good job keeping his head centered. Key to staying out of the guillotine, key to not giving up a limb is keep everything together in the center. Alex Gonzalez, so far, very patient gameplay.
He's pinning him. He is pinning him. See how he has it
vulnerable
right
to
there.
the arm, though.
Close to the
right
arm
just in time.
Cubillo using his feet to push himself off, but not enough. Gonzalez landing in those elbows.
Frustration setting in a bit for Cubillo. He's gone for a few submission attempts, finds himself on his back 4 minutes into the first round, and so far Alex Gonzalez staying patient and keeping the pressure on.
He's working for that shot after shot from this position. I mean, right now, Gonzalez just could have a field day, just landing shots here, gassing out Poopy.
One thing about having a long guard, long legs, it can be hard to push off your opponent's hips and get space to get up, especially pressed against the fence, to your point.
Right, and that's the thing. When you're in this position for the bottom person, it's very, very challenging.
And right now, Alex Gonzalez not giving anything up, staying very, very patient, very, very compact. In order to get submitted, you have to get your limbs separated, and Alex Gonzalez not letting that happen.
I'll tell you this, Jimmy. If
Finally an angle, might have the arm locked up, elbows
he's
right
searching.
out.
He's searching.
Can't say that Cubillo isn't active with his guard, but so far, Alex Gonzalez has had a counter every single time. And frustrating round for Mauricio Cubillo in round number 1. Our season opener is going to go to round 2. Cubillo, Alex Gonzalez.
Cubillo there, a little winded. And look, this is a much-needed victory for Cubillo. He needs to be something expressive. He keeps on going down to the floor, but not like strike. Look at it right here, striking him one straight down to the ground. He got the takedown, great, awesome. But Gonzalez transitioned here.
You blitz him or when you
try to get something here, and as you said earlier on, very early on, not sweaty, not nothing, very dry. Try to go for the heel hook. Cubillo took himself away, and then it was Gonzalez all round long.
Great round for Alex Gonzalez, doing a little bit less, but staying safe and keeping the pressure on. Welcome back to round 2. Combate Global, Mauricio Cubillo versus Alex Gonzalez, the story of round number 1. All you can say is the ground and pound of Alex Gonzalez.
That's the story so far in that first round. Cubillo needs to pick up the pace right here. This is a stirred shot inside La Jaula. He wants to come back. He needs to show something.
Right now, Alex Gonzalez staying tight, eating a kick.
A little wild, Cubillo throwing in those fists and then straight down to the floor again.
He got the takedown first in round number 1. Couldn't keep position. Ended up giving it up, giving up a reversal to Alex Gonzalez. But this time, Cubillo taking his time, one hook in.
Trying to get that body lock, but Gonzalez just not allowing it.
And it's a replay of round number 1. Takedown, one hook so far.
And won't be surprised if it gets to the feet. Cubillo will go straight down to the floor and call him again.
Putting hip pressure on. You can get a rear naked choke with one hook in. It is possible. Stretch your opponent out enough, but right now, Cabello losing the angle just like he did in round 1. Footlock possibilities opening up for Alex Gonzalez.
You're a black belt, Jimmy. Gonzalez told me, hey, I'm working on my black belt. We're seeing that right here. The more of that stuff, the way he gets out of that stuff, his coach is looking at it, he might get that black belt sooner than later.
Heel hook is deep, but very hard to finish. Cabello putting weight on that left leg. Now switching looks like straight footlock and bails out at exactly the right time. Stay on top.
Very mirror image of what we saw in that first round, Jimmy.
Now, if you are Mauricio Cubillo's coaches, you're saying, hey, we can't allow a repeat of round number 1, all right? A couple exchanges, submissions, leg lock attempt. You cannot stay here on the bottom. Is that what you're screaming at him?
Yes. Strike. Move. Offense. Stop taking it to the floor. You know what's going to happen.
Alex Gonzalez staying very, very tight, very comfortable with this position, and that's how we won round number 1.
And listen, Jimmy, we've been in the fight game for some time. I know sometimes you feel very comfortable if that's your bread and butter. But if you've been striking, and as you move up the ladder, as you climb up the mountain, you're going to get more challenges that are very difficult. But you have to have confidence in yourself. Test the striking, right?
Once again, on the bottom, Mauricio Cubillo in the white, trying to work his guard. Very long legs, but so far the submission offense has not been. They're not able to create the angle on Alex Gonzalez. If you're looking at your opponent straight, especially the top of their head, it's very hard to submit them. And unfortunately, that's where Cubillo's been throughout this fight.
Right, I mean, Gonzalez knows what he's doing. He's very confident in his jiu-jitsu, but right now it's looking more like a jiu-jitsu tournament than an MMA fight. Something has to get done here.
And we have open scoring here. No surprise, Alex Gonzalez up 1 round, 10-9, round number 1. Gonzalez easily winning round number 1. Not a 10-8, but so far in control.
All full control. It's been Gonzalez all day so far. If I'm that corner there from Cubillo, you have to do something. And you get that open scoring.
I'm sure there's a similar expression in Spanish. Keep doing what you're doing, keep getting what you got. And he has lost round number 1 and has to do something else. Open scoring here tonight, so the fighters can know what the scores are. If their corners tell them, that can change the strategy.
If it ain't working, fix it.
And right now, Cabello going back to the same game plan, foot on the hip, trying to create the angle, but Alex Gonzalez not letting him at all. Elbows in, short shots, nothing big. No Fedor ground and pound for the Pride fans, but short ground and pound, that keeping everything safe.
They do something there, those little elbows. Not a lot of power, of course, because you don't have that distance. But you keep landing in those shots, eventually one time you'll get your opponent off guard and you'll be able to work your way through.
And Alex Gonzalez right now content to stay in this position, not trying to stand up, not trying to get any distance for bigger strikes. Stay low, stay tight, win another round. Oh, that was a big hammer fist on the jaw of Cubillo.
And credit to Cubillo. He's had a long resume here as a mixed martial artist. Has a victory over Jose Alday by way of submission. So I get it, but every fight, every opponent is different, Jimmy. And if you went in that first round, right? Flip the script, man.
If you're going to get a submission, generally in a situation like this from the guard, round 1 is a lot easier than round 2, and he got closer in round 1 than he has so far in round 2. Alex Gonzalez not taking any risks at all, and Cubillo back of his head flat on the mat. That's not where you want to be when you take ground and pound, but after Wonder, he said emotionally, I need a win. You mentioned it, but this looks like a man who's content to finish out round number 2, just like round number 1.
Looking at the facial expression from Cubillo, it's more like he's frustrated. He's trying, but he just can't find anything.
And Alex Gonzalez continuing with the ground and pound. Don't expect to give up anything. With just seconds left in the round, once again, a wipeout from Alex Gonzalez for round number 2. And it's the end of round number 2. A happy Alex Gonzalez heading back to his corner. What do you say? So far, everything working.
But for Gonzalez, absolutely. But I would say, look, you know what he's going to do. Test him out. Try to see if he can strike just you. Let's see if he answers back. Test him.
And this is why the first 2 rounds, so dominant for Alex Gonzalez. It's the scrambles. He's always ending up on top.
Yeah, always on top, finds that goal, and here it is. Pretty much, what, a good 70, 80% of that round was Gonzalez from the guard landing in shots all day, all night long.
We'll see if the song remains the same in round number 3 as this fight continues.
Walk right into it. Beautiful work. Keep it up. Beautiful job. Okay. Eso es. Let's go. Thank you.
Vamos, Pupi, ya sabes, vamos.
Welcome to round number 3, Mauricio Cubillo versus Alex Gonzalez. There comes a time, Rodolfo, where you have to ask yourself, did I come here to survive or did I come here to win? Mauricio Cubillo, his team has to be asking that mentally right now.
I hope they did. I hope they shook him up a little bit. Let him know that he, okay, so now he's picking up the pace, but straight down to that single leg, pushing him back.
Remember the first 2 rounds,
Yeah.
the takedowns have been pretty easy for Cubillo. He just hasn't been able to stay on top.
Now notice for Gonzalez, he's not, oh, he
Guard
took it.
pull.
He took it right again, right to the guard, Jimmy.
And if in case you've missed rounds 1 and 2, they've looked exactly like this. Mauricio Cubillo on his back, trying to work his guard. Alex Gonzalez, short, efficient, safe ground and pound, and it's led to a wipeout so far.
It's almost like the iPhone, it never changes.
Oh, an elbow, it may have cut up. Alex Gonzalez from the bottom. Thrown by Cubillo from the bottom. It looks like Alex Gonzalez leaking blood from somewhere. And it is a lot, Ramon.
That is a lot, Jimmy. Oh, it's like a bloodbath. Not sure exactly where that blood is leaking from.
I gotta tell you, Rodolfo, his chest is covered in blood right now. I'm surprised the referee hasn't stopped the action to check it out.
I'm assuming maybe it's from the nose?
Could be a nose or a cut. Don't have an angle where we can check it out right now, but if you're Alex Gonzalez, you want to keep the pressure on. If there's a break, the referee's going to separate him. If Gonzalez keeps the pressure on, he might not.
Yeah, referee just kneeling down, trying to keep a close eye on it. He's pretty confident if he's not stepping in there.
Going for the footlock again,
May have
straight
something
footlock.
here, Jimmy.
Hips are not in great position. He still might get it.
That's a good turn there from Poopy.
Cubillo trying to put
Not trying to
pressure
get
on the
that
foot, climbing the ladder up, but ending back,
back again.
in guard again.
Now the triangle, perhaps.
Going to triangle, couldn't cut the angle in time.
Well, that blood's in the way, very slippery.
Makes triangles, guillotines, front chokes a lot easier.
But not in this position here, Jimmy.
Mauricio Cubillo may have had an opportunity opening up a cut on the face of Alex Gonzalez, but so far not able to capitalize.
Absolutely. Here it's almost like climbing a slippery totem pole. It's just not going to happen, trying to find a submission.
Now going Kimura, trying to rock up a Kimura on the near side. Needs to get separation with his hips to make that one work or open up the guard.
It's just not giving him any space. And look at the legs right here.
Now opening up the leg to try and put pressure on the shoulder, but now giving it up and going guillotine.
Maybe, no, good way of sneaking out his head, Gonzalez. Now he's trying to push out Gonzalez. Maybe Poopy trying to take this fight to the feet.
Yeah, but Cubillo not chaining his submissions together, thinking one at a time. And right now, Alex Gonzalez so far ahead of that game plan.
Bet him like the Book of 5 Rings right now, Jimmy.
The man is a fan of the Book of 5 Rings, the Art of War, Sun Tzu, Miyoto Musashi. He is a thinker, and he has thought his way to victory tonight, not taking any risks on top. Alex Gonzalez
the corner is motivating him. He just yelled at him in Spanish, "This is your opportunity," but Poopy not doing much.
Got to break away, get something done, stand up, maybe work on the cut, which so far has not been a factor. The referee has not stopped the action to check it out. He has a closer view than we do, and apparently he doesn't think it's that severe.
No, and that referee, Chris McNoche, has been keeping a close eye on that. Hadn't stepped in, so must not be dangerous whatsoever, allowing the fight to continue.
Yeah, but to his credit as a referee, there hasn't really been a break in the action. No. He's allowed Alex Gonzalez to keep the pressure on this entire time. Usually with a mouthpiece, a cut, you wait for a break in the action. We haven't had that.
Very idle in this position, Jimmy, and I'm sure perhaps referee has even contemplated, should I stand these guys up? I mean, they are active, they are throwing some shots.
And Cubillo spending a lot of time with the back of his head against the floor and the fence. Never want to relax. It makes the ground and pound hurt that much more when your head doesn't have anywhere to go.
And that rubbing of that hair to the face, Jimmy, you know how just obnoxious that thing, especially if you're pinned to la jaula.
That's why I have a beard.
There we go.
It's literally to do that when I do jiu-jitsu. Forget technique.
But as a wrestler, that's exactly what I would do. But then make a shave. Good thing I had that 5 hour, what is it, that 5 o'clock shadow?
Look at that forehead just crushing the chin of Mauricio Cubillo. And Alex Gonzalez apparently content with 20 seconds left in this round and the fight. We get a lopsided decision over Mauricio Cubillo.
He is just exhausted. Been in this position for a very long time.
10 seconds left. Can either fighter get the finish?
Credit to Gonzalez. He's trying to get that finish, Jimmy.
He's going hard for the ground and pound, but we will run out of time, and it was one-way traffic throughout this fight. No style points for Alex Gonzalez, but an efficient performance.
He did what he had to do. And that's exactly, he's going to take this victory home tonight here inside La Jaula.
Well, we'll find out right after this.
Después de 3 asaltos de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of mucha más acción, the judges are all in agreement. Todos los jueces están de acuerdo con tarjetas 30-27 a favor, in favor del ganador por decisión unánime, to the winner by unanimous decision. De Phoenix, Arizona, vía Ciudad de México, Alex Coyote Gonzalez.
Well, the Coyote turned out to be the bigger dog. No real surprise there.
Absolutely not. He got the memo. He knew what he was supposed to do. He got the victory. Congratulations, young man.
Well, that one is finished. When we come back, 125, the exciting weight class that does it all when we come back. Welcome back to Combate Global. They are cleaning off the canvas.
You know what we call them, Jimmy?
Yeah.
The Ghostbusters. It's an inside joke. Campbell will get that stuff, but it happened during COVID. Hey, kudos to them. They keep the Jaula clean.
They keep it very, very clean. We might need them after the next fight. 125, the number of positions, the kind of strikes, the action you're going to see at 125, it always excels.
Very, very exciting and fast-paced, and unlike other people that think that flyweights, oh, they're just fast-paced, no knockouts. No, not here, baby. We get knockouts inside La Jaula.
And we cannot wait to see it. The aggression, the combinations, that's exactly what we want to see, and that's what we're going to see. Take it away, Omar.
Haciendo su entrada a La Jaula, making his way to La Jaula, Gaston Manzur.
And there he is, Gaston Manzur, fighting out of Santiago, Chile. We talked to his coach in the back, and that's one of the things he said. He goes, he has my technique. He took that to Chile. He's training at altitude. And I've spent time in Santiago, Chile. You get tired walking down the street. That's the kind of elevation you get up there. But he hasn't spent a lot of time training in the States. Hopefully, he's doing what he needs to do. That was what his coach told us in the back.
Yeah, that altitude is definitely going to make a difference there in Chile. I had my experience in Mexico, and I felt like I was having a heart attack. But hey, that's why I live in Miami. This is a great opportunity for Manzur here to make his debut inside La Jaula. Very fast-paced, great striking, but the critical key is going to be here, Jimmy, is footwork. Chris Ocon is very efficient, has a strong base in Muay Thai. Movement, cutting the corners. This is what's going to make him for him. And what was very interesting, we had a conversation with Matt Waggy, one of his coaches who trained in American Combat. He said, hey, even though he was in Chile, we were talking.
We'll see what he brings to the United States, back into La Jaula for his opponent.
Ahora su oponente. Now his opponent, Chris Ocon.
And there's Chris Ocon, decorated amateur, 9-0, 13 years in MMA, and veteran of the Contender Series. When you ask about his formative years, what made you a fighter? Essentially losing both parents. Lost his mother young, his dad went to prison. He talks about the pain that leads to maturity. He carries that into La Jaula tonight.
Very much so. This is a man who's trained with some savages for this fight, including veteran Dustin Ortiz. Prior to that, he trained here at Killcliff. And we know Killcliff has some savages here, but what's very exciting about this man, who is undefeated in La Jaula, very fast, exciting, great footwork. I'm looking forward to see both these men matched up. Should be a good one.
Will the undefeated streak in La Jaula continue? We're about to find out. As they touch gloves, Omar's gonna make it official.
Ya estamos listos para este combate. Sí, señor. We're ready for this fight. Pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la división de peso mosca. We are ready for this bout set for 3 rounds of 5 minutes in the flyweight division. Los jueces, the judges, Richard Green Jr., Mark Streisand. Damas y caballeros, ha llegado el momento. The moment is here para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing in the blue corner. Sube con un récord de 12 victorias, 8 derrotas. He steps in with a record of 12 wins and 8 losses. Vistiendo, wearing pantaloncillo azul. Registró un peso oficial de 124.6 libras. Official weight 124.6. He is from Santiago de Chile. Gaston Cabelludo Manzur. Y en la esquina roja su oponente que está listo también. And in the red corner, his opponent. Sube con un récord de 6 victorias, 2 derrotas. He stepped in with a record of 6 victories and 2 losses. Vistiendo color blanco, wearing white. Registró un peso oficial de 125.4 libras. He's from Nashville, Tennessee, USA. Chris Ocon. El hombre encargado del orden en este combate, el referee Marcos Pérez. The referee de Panamá, Marcos Pérez.
Vale, come on. Stop. So, you already know the rules. I want a clean fight. Okay? Obviamente coman at all time. Okay? Ya sabes las reglas, quiero una pelea limpia. Sigue mi comando en todo momento, okay? Touch gloves if you want, okay? Go to your corner.
Intensity in the eyes of Gaston Manzur and Chris Ocon. Ocon talked about the layoff. He wants to get in there. It's been a year since he has fought. That wait is now over. Ocon in the white, Manzur in the blue. Manzur from Santiago, Chile.
Yeah, Ocon said he was a little bit frustrated. It's a very long layoff. He wanted to compete, but hey, just didn't make its way. But now he's getting that opportunity in the first event of 2023 in Combate Global. And for Manzur, this is a great opportunity for him, Jimmy. He's been itching, training out of Barrio Franklin, home to some of the fighters of Combate. Chris Barraza, also Gloria Bravo train out of there. We've seen some studs out of that camp here. And plus, his brother trains. It's almost like it's in the family.
And his coach, Matt Waggy, told us about exactly this. Footwork,
he's doing
angling, moving side to side. He was a little worried that he'd do it. Looks like whatever Matt told him, it stuck.
Yeah, but Chris knows. See how he's trying to come in, trying to stop that footwork. Moving in very closely, trying to shut him up, cornering him in la jaula. Trying to find a sweet spot.
Yeah, another thing Matt discussed is, the records don't mean a lot because he's from a place where there isn't a lot of MMA. You fight who you can, when you can, out of your weight class, late notice all the time. He said this kid is talented, but a lot of fighters avoid him. He doesn't have the record to be a big draw. He's hoping that changes tonight.
Tondo just like a shark. Just choosing, very calm, very patient, poised.
Ocon just cutting off the jaula, making it very, very small. Not giving Manzur a lot of room to work, but nice right hand over the top.
Great two from Manzur. Jab there from Ocon. Ocon is just waiting for the good opportunity to just pick Manzur apart. Very patient, very confident.
Confident so far in his boxing. Good extension on that 1-2. Ocon started out wrestling. That was his first discipline, loved it. Made the transition to MMA, purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Does have skills on the ground. Right now, it's the jab that's working for him.
Well, training with Matt Waggy, who was very, very diverse there in the wrestling game. Wonder if Manzur is going to go and throw off Ocon with the wrestling.
I was about to say, also incredible jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Manzur is schooled, but right now, both guys so far content to make this a kickboxing match in MMA gloves.
I say Manzur there with a nice kick that he did to the inside left leg of Ocon.
Ocon right now standing very, very tall, kind of letting that chin hang out, but able to keep Manzur at distance with those straight punches. Add a kick to that repertoire. Going after the liver on the right side.
See how long, the further this fight goes, because that movement, how much of that will play a role into Manzur? Will it gas him out? Will it get him tired? Because he's moving so much. Ocon is just calm.
And the best advice you can receive in MMA, never set a pace you can't keep. Don't do it in round 1 if you can't do it in round 3. Manzur slowing down a little bit. Ocon, of course, walking him down, not allowing Manzur to move around him. He's forced to move with his back to the fence.
And that gasses you out, Jimmy. I've been in there after a while. Your feet start hurting. You're like, okay, I'm done, man. Let me just sit here and just stand and bang.
I'm regretting all that movement.
Yeah. There's so much jump rope you can do. Eventually you're going to feel it.
Manzur landing a couple punches there, but Ocon not worried about it. Landing the right, knee coming in. Landed mostly on the chest, but that hurt him.
Beautiful, that flying knee attempt.
What do we say about 125? So many versatile attacks. Knee right up the middle.
Fast. Look at that
beautiful right hand. Well, we see some groundwork.
Yep.
Ocon a little hesitant to it. Yep, it's doing well.
Love it.
With the stand-up, why would I change things around?
If it's going my way, why change it? Manzur now, he's backpedaling now there, right? Going back.
Ocon right now not breathing heavily. Oh, good combination by Manzur. Maybe the best so far in the fight for him.
There you got cut.
Ocon, though, so far doesn't seem to be bothered by the power of Manzur. Like, Manzur lands, but Ocon is right back in his face.
I think what he's reading is that I'm going to let him do his thing and let him get tired. That's what it's seeming like right now. Because look at that footwork. Manzur is not the same like he started off in the beginning of the round.
Nice level change. Good defense from Manzur.
The guillotine, maybe lost it.
Was thinking guillotine. Ocon so far wanting nothing of the ground gave him Manzur. Manzur, though, you talk about energy starting to windmill those punches. Never a good sign at the end of round 1.
That 5-hour energy could last so long, Jimmy.
Ocon right now staring down Manzur, daring him to come into the jab. And we will see round number 2. And Ocon right now breathing pretty easily, smiles on the faces of his coaches. I've been doing the same thing if I was coaching him.
Oh yeah, just stick to the same stuff that you've been doing. Has been working very well. Look at Manzur just breathing heavily here. Let's try to see if I can listen real quick here. All right, so use the right, enter with the right, he said. But look at Ocon, that's beautiful textbook, beautiful kicks from Muay Thai there. Great work with the left. Attempt for the flying knee. Manzur did move out the way. He did catch him there about once or twice, but that's pretty much the most highlight that he had Manzur in that first round.
So far, excellent work by Chris Ocon.
8 is there. Down your 8 is there.
And if you want to know who's winning this fight so far, look at the face of Chris Ocon, just not even breathing very heavily.
I don't.
It's like a sparring session so far. And Gaston Manzur didn't take any huge shots, right? Took a little bit of a knee to the jaw. His face is in pretty good shape, but using so much energy in round number 1. The straight punches, really the story of that first round.
Look at that right leg, Jimmy. I don't know. When he started off when the bell rang, it almost seemed like he was limping, but it just could be me.
Might have been a little bit of a wobble there, but yeah, using so much footwork, angling over and over. Not easy on the knees, and right now Ocon walking him down just like we saw in round number 1.
He's angling, but he's the angles, but he's not coming in either, though. He's just right, left, but not working the sides. Not throwing any hooks, not throwing any inside kicks.
Using the leg kicks from the outside. Seems a little bit more willing to engage. His corner told him the truth. They told him you need to change something. That was not your opening round. Nice body shot.
Look at that movement, not the same.
Good straight right again from Ocon.
Oh, I don't know what that was there, Jimmy, but it seemed like he was
a little flailing and wailing. Not exactly the way they teach it in the gym. Ocon much sharper with the punches so far.
Yeah, Ocon right now is just so confident in himself. I think right now he's just waiting for that highlight reel moment.
But now he's getting Now he's getting a Gaston Manzur who's in his face a bit more. Remember, round number 1, he played the outside, content to be near the fence. Not now.
Yeah, now he's coming in. Pulling up to that driveway, Jimmy.
Problem is, in this sport, going in straight is going to cause you problems, especially dealing with an excellent jab. Chris Ocon so far having that.
Make sure you have the garage door open,
Look
Jimmy.
at that, popping the, exactly. Make sure it's open.
It might go viral on social media.
And we have open scoring. No surprise here. Chris Ocon, 10-9, all 3 judges' scorecards in round number 1. Manzur, you see, trying to change up the strategy, being a little bit more aggressive. Those straight punches are finding the mark every time.
Hands still a little loose there. They're not keeping them up. See, hands up, kind of loose. I know he's trying to size him up, but Ocon, that's not doing nothing for him.
And Ocon taking advantage of that movement. Good right hand over the top from Manzur, but
I know it seems like an open hand slap there he tried there, right?
a little bit of the Stockton slap.
Right. Little Nick Diaz.
Winging them rather than turning them over sharp. And Chris Ocon not using a lot of hooks, the occasional body shot, but it's almost all straight punches.
Did you see that from Manzur?
Yeah.
He tried it, and then it's like his elbow went inside his rib cage.
Manzur just trying to commit to some shots, but not having the accuracy necessary to get back in this fight.
Look at that back foot, Jimmy. Very flat.
Oh, good right hand.
That flat footness right here.
Yes, I'm seeing it. And right
he
now,
felt that one. He's picking him apart.
Manzur is paying for it.
Ocon is picking him apart. Little by little.
And also crisp, sharp.
So
Good
fast.
evasion at the end, taking advantage of that height disparity, the reach disparity.
Knee.
Just as you called it, knee to the chest.
Yep. Ocon just sizing him up. Very patient, waiting for that right moment.
Gotta admit, I'm impressed with the boxing of Chris Ocon so far.
Crisp.
Yeah, sharp. Very, very sharp. Gaston Manzur from Santiago, Chile. Gotta dig deep into his arsenal here. We haven't seen much of an attempt at the ground game. No commitment to the takedown.
But one thing that I find unique about Chris, and usually in boxing, right, you tend to be a little low, a little squatting down. He stands up, but it works so well for him.
Yeah, very, very tall in the stance. A lot of faith in his range and head movement.
Right.
Not tucking his chin. He knows he can see the punches coming. So far he has.
Trying to fake that lead, that kick.
Chris
Manzur,
Ocon,
he can't just figure him out.
man, representing Tennessee. Good straight right hand.
Great body shot.
Not committing much to any one punch. The
So
jab and straight right over and over. Not trying to reinvent the wheel here.
He's just so tactical with his hands.
Now 19 seconds left. Wouldn't do a whole lot of good now, but I'm a little surprised Manzur not committing to a takedown. Something to change the script of this fight, because right now, we can see how the story might end.
He's desperate, but
Flurry at the end, not enough as we finish round number 1.
Ya, vamos 1-1. ¿Cómo va?
And this has been the story of the fight, the boxing of Ocon, and right now Manzur, a walking punching bag.
you know, right at the end of that second round, Manzur looked at him, put his hands up like he wanted to fight. No, Ocon is fighting. The thing is, he just can't catch up to him. Great movement from this footwork from Ocon. Great head movement, just picking him apart.
Vamos. Vamos, el último, vamos, vamos.
Welcome back to round number 3. Gaston Manzur versus Chris Ocon at 125 pounds. And have you ever, Rodolfo, had that sparring session where everything's going right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it seems like here
right now.
Chris
Yeah.
Ocon.
But it's also frustrating because you're not testing me, right? Right, that's what sparring's about, right? You're supposed to challenge me, see, find my hole, so when I get to the fight, I know where I can work.
When it's for money, you'll take the easy fight if you can get it. Now, that doesn't mean Gaston Manzur has given up. Oh, nice right hand to the jaw. Just tuning in, that's pretty much what it's been for 3 rounds. Great straight punches from Chris Ocon.
Gotta go for a teep there.
Yep. Finally going in for the takedown, but
and I slightly heard Manzur's corner, and it said, "You need to go, brother. You need to go. You need to do something." Let's see if he got the memo. He is, but it almost seems like he's just desperate. But when you do that, Jimmy, you're the recipe for disaster, right?
Yes. Chris Ocon so far taking advantage. Another beautiful jab right over the right eye.
See, it's almost
Manzur.
he forgot his legs. When he threw it, it's just so dangerous. If Ocon would have found that great opportunity for an uppercut, it would have been all she wrote.
Another good combination from Chris Ocon. The counters from Gaston Manzur hitting mostly air.
Yep.
Open scoring tonight. No surprise here that Chris Ocon, 20-18 on one judge scorecard. I'm very surprised, though, that the other two have this tied going into round number 3. I'm shocked.
Never leave it to the judges, Jimmy.
Wow. Now, his corner, as you heard, they believe he's losing. I believe he's losing, but if he has a good round in this 3rd round, he could take this.
He could take it.
This completely changes the script of this fight. I can't believe that 2 judges have this tied. I saw the first score and thought, oh, all right. Yeah,
Right.
Wait a second.
I think the judge needs some coffee right now.
So if you're Chris Ocon, you got to turn it up and really ice this round.
You can't be
really finish dramatically, yeah.
You can have it on neutral there. You got to pick it up. And this is where it comes to the open scoring, Jimmy, right? Do you, as a fighter, do I want my corner to tell me if I'm winning or losing? And it's up to him. I mean, in this case, this is a perfect example. You got to let me know.
Yeah, right now, I'd be screaming at my guy. You are not ahead. You have to finish. You got to finish strong. And if you're Manzur's corner, you're going, you can win this. Keep the pressure on. It completely changes the dynamic and strategy of the fight.
Manzur desperately searching for that single leg to take him down, to open the eyes of the judges.
He's not getting the takedown. He's eating up minutes. 2 minutes left in a fight that is now suddenly up for grabs. Now that we know that 2 judges have it tied. Oh, nice combination on cue from Chris Ocon. I want to see if Ocon maybe turns over that right hand a little bit more, knowing he might need a finish to win this. Because I wouldn't trust these judges right now as far as I could throw them.
Right now, you have to go.
A beautiful knee
and
to the center.
He's been waiting, Jimmy. He's just been patiently waiting. And I know he wants to be impressive, but right now, because of how the judges just scored it, you can't really depend on that. You got to go.
The great Emmanuel Stewart once said it, can't take your punches home with you.
No,
you got them, throw them. And Ocon going back to work. You saw in rounds 1 and 2, but gotta wonder if it's enough right now, having seen those scorecards. The only thing I can think of is that the judges are giving credit to a lot of the Manzur punches that we are seeing don't seem that effective.
You know what? The movement. I think the movement too might kind of, because he's moving a lot. You know, he's trying.
And it's straight up. Ocon wanting nothing to do with the ground game of Gaston Manzur. Just under a minute, 45 seconds left in this 3rd and final round. Remember, 2 judges have this tied, which I do not agree with and do not understand, but Ocon has to fight with a sense of urgency. Oh.
Again, another attempt at that knee, Jimmy. And he's just waiting for it, but right now, because of that judge's scorecards.
About who can steal the last 20 seconds, the round and the fight may be up for grabs.
15 seconds to go. Ocon needs to pick up the pace and at least finish off these 10 seconds impressively to secure the win.
It is Manzur pressing the action. The question is it enough at the end of round number 3?
Después de 3 asaltos de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of mucha más acción, tenemos una decisión dividida. Richard Green sees the fight 30-27. Richard Green Jr. sees the fight 29-28. And Mark Streisand sees the fight 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Chris Ocon para el ganador, Chris Ocon.
That went the right. I was a little worried about that one.
there.
I believe that went the right way. At least 2 rounds to 1.
Yes, at the minimum. Yes. I know I see Manzur is frustrated. I get it. But that's the fight game, man.
You can't ask your opponent to fight your kind of fight. You have to make them fight your kind of fight, and that wasn't there.
Right. Ocon did what he had to do.
Looks like we might have some confusion here. Let's see, Omar Amador. Let's see if he can maybe clear this thing up.
Hacemos una fe de rata. We're gonna correct the decision. The fight goes by split decision por Gaston Manzur.
Now I completely disagree with the decision. Wow.
Yes.
I don't know, Jimmy. I'm gonna need some coffee for this one.
I think Ocon outboxed him for 3 rounds.
Absolutely. Very technical, precise with the shots. Manzur, you and I were calling his hands were there before his feet, for goodness sakes.
I love his enthusiasm. I love his heart.
Sure.
But technically, this fight was a wipeout, and that is what fights should be about. Who did the most damage? Who turned over the punches? And that was Ocon to me from beginning to end.
Yeah, listen, and that's what they say, you never leave it to the judges. Wow.
Fortunately, more action to come tonight. This one is going to sting Ocon for a while, but tonight we are moving on. That's right, Alejandro Gavidia versus Gavidia.
I'll help you out, Jimmy. I know you're married to a Cuban, but I got you, man.
Versus Justin Vazquez. That is our main event, guaranteed action. But when we come back, the ladies throw it down. It's sure to be a stand-up war when we come back. Welcome back to Combate Global. Jimmy Smith, of course, alongside Rodolfo Roman. When we talk about momentum, how important that is in sports, especially in fighting, that is key to this next fight. We have a French kickboxer, 80 professional Muay Thai or kickboxing fights, but not a lot of MMA experience. Her opponent from Spain hasn't fought since 2019, but much more experienced. How do you see it?
Well, Jade right now is in that winning streak, right, and is going to carry on. And she says she's been working on where she feels that she needs a little work, and that's the ground game. But Cabello, yes, she hasn't competed, but sometimes when you take a little break, Jimmy, you always come back a lot stronger, plus recovery's a lot better, and she made the change. She's not training at Los Lobos gym. Right now, home to a world champion in Alexa Grasso. Right now, that is money. She's carrying on that momentum. When you have a champion in your gym, Jimmy, you got to carry on the legacy.
And you see the rest of the card coming up, Alejandro Gavidia and Justin Vazquez. So these ladies want to kick it off the right way here on Paramount Plus. I think maybe they're feeling a little bit of the pressure.
I think Irene here is coming for the Princess Crown here tonight.
And we will get it started at 110 pounds. The kickboxer from France versus the mixed martial artist, the road warrior from Spain. She's fought in Japan. She was on The Ultimate Fighter. She has been everywhere. Now she is in La Jaula for Combate Global. And you see the head-to-head. Irene Cabello, 30 to Jade Jorand's only 22. The rest of the stats pretty close. Is that age going to be a factor? Jade Jorand, does she have the strength to take on a 30-year-old mixed martial artist?
That is to question, but too, the experience matters here a lot, Jimmy. And the more you've been in the game, the more you know. And I'm sure Irene has fought many kickboxers here, just like Jade. So she's coming in with a long resume here as a mixed martial artist. And you said it right, kickboxer to MMA, it takes some time to transition completely, Jimmy.
Well, Omar Amador will get it kicked off for us.
Para el evento coestelar de esta noche. Everything is ready for the co-main event of the evening. Es un compromiso pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en un peso pactado a las 110 libras. This is an event set for 3 rounds of 5 minutes in a catch weight of 110 pounds. Los jueces son, the judges are James Lazaro, Richard Green Jr. Damas y caballeros, el momento ha llegado. The time is here para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing the blue corner. Sube con un récord de 9 victorias, 6 derrotas. She steps up with a record of 9 victories, 6 losses. Vistiendo todo de negro, wearing all black. Registró un peso oficial de 111.4 libras. Es de Guadalajara, Jalisco, México. Vía Barcelona, España, Irene Cabello Rivera. Y su oponente en la esquina roja, her opponent in the red corner. Sube con un récord de 2 victorias, 2 derrotas. She steps in with a record of 2 victories and 2 defeats. Vistiendo color blanco, wearing white. Registró un peso oficial de 111.4 libras. She registered an official weight of 111.4 pounds. Es de Bordeaux, France, Jade Jorand. El referee para este compromiso, Christopher Mignocchi. El referee, Christopher Mignocchi.
Bring it in. All right, ladies, I want a good, clean fight, please. Quiero una pelea limpia, por favor. If you want to touch gloves, go ahead and do it now. Si quiere tocar los guantes. Buena suerte a las dos. Good
Now
luck.
they weighed in approximately the same, but you see the size disparity. Cabello from Spain, right there on your screen, much bigger than her French opponent,
Round
Jade
1,
Jorand.
are you ready?
I gotta give credit
Round
to
1, are you ready? Fight!
Spanish, man.
Hey, there you go, not bad. His
think he
French
got the
though
memo.
lacking. His French lacking a little bit.
I think you got the memo. This is La Jaula, homie.
And we are now underway. Irene Cabello in the black, her opponent Jade Jorand in the white. Very experienced kickboxer is Jorand. 80 professional Muay Thai and kickboxing matches all over Europe.
When you're out for a while, Jimmy, those butterflies are just back. It's almost like coming back to your first fight. She's been out of action. You know, you got the fans, the howla, all that good stuff. Nerves are kicking now. Takes that first hit, though, to kind of come back and be like, oh, that's right. This is where I belong.
Yeah, it's round number 1 where the butterflies, the ring rust are all there, and Irene Cabello certainly not having any trouble exchanging with Jade Jorand. She might have the advantage on the ground, the advantage with the takedown, the jiu-jitsu. So far, content to kickbox.
Great jab there from Jade Jorand. And by the way, Jade, when she comes to fight, she's always with her family. So right here, I know somewhere one of her family members is around. Her father actually was her first trainer. Now she's no longer training, she's training at the Verdun Training Center. But to have your father there to teach you the kinks of martial arts, the stand-up game, I mean, that's just a great thing. I mean, Jimmy, you and I mean, we both have kids. I'm sure you taught your kids a combination or two or some jiu-jitsu stuff.
They are 4 and 2. They already have a great armbar.
Yeah, in Thailand, they start them at 1 month year old, man.
Look at the combinations from Jade Jorand. Talk about starting out young. You can see it's paying dividends. Great accuracy, great power on those punches.
There's the clinch work there, coming out.
Irene Cabello wisely clinching.
Trying to pull her in.
Yeah, collar tie, overhook on the right side. Bit of a head and arm position.
You don't like kickboxing, Jimmy. You know, that clinch stuff doesn't fly. It's more in the Muay Thai, and that's for those tuning in for the first time, watching MMA. We always got some new fans in MMA, believe it or not.
Gotta explain the way it works, and that was called a guard pull from Irene Cabello, but didn't work, ended up back on the feet. Jade Jorand, I was wondering, at 22 and with the size disparity, you have the power especially when it came to the clinch game, the takedown of Irene Cabello. So far, she's holding her own.
She is. She's definitely stepping up to the plate, feeling in with that clinch work, laying in some knees. But you're right there, the size.
They don't look like the same weight class at all.
Whatsoever. Yeah, no. It's very visible.
Cabello right now throwing that shoulder in, putting physical pressure on Jade Jorand.
Trying to bring it down though, kind of sneaking a knee or two. Also trying to land some knees in the inner thigh.
Jade Jorand, a K1 champion.
Oh, that's the ground game here.
beautiful.
Let's see what she's been working on. Last time that Jade was here, didn't go her way. Both of their previous fight has been stand-up.
Yeah, half trip, half fall from Jade Jorand. Irene Cabello just kind of falling to her back off that position. In half guard, and what has she picked up in the world of jiu-jitsu? She's gonna get her pass.
Yeah, not doing much here, just flat on her back. Not bridging, not nothing.
Instep on top, good way to pass, but now getting enough distance to get some ground and pound.
That knee, but careful though, that knee was down. Yep.
Illegal shot from Jade Jorand.
I think they'll let this pass. They'll not work for a point. It's the first time.
No warning.
Yeah, just a little warning. You to get some time. Yeah, 5 minutes.
And here it is on the ground. Yeah, knee right to the chin.
And just a warning.
Unintentional. But you did hit her. She's going to get 5 minutes.
Oh, she has 5 minutes to recover.
You ready?
She's gonna. Doesn't look like she's gonna take much of it.
Okay.
And sometimes, right, if it wasn't effective, and if you're not, why not? And it's very early on in the fight. Maybe take that 5 minutes into mid-second,
In round
third
3,
round.
when you're exhausted, you can take that 5 minutes. And we are once again underway. Irene Cabello in the black versus Jade Jorand in the white. Jade Jorand, fantastic kickboxer in her native France. K1 champion. Over 80 professional bouts, and right now those combinations had accuracy on display.
Great right hook though from it in, sneaking it in, very tight. But what I like about Jade is that jab, and I think this has been the difference here, that jab. Very consistent with it.
She never throws just one, it's been combination punching throughout, yes.
Just bam, bam, bam. And very fast.
Not a lot of kicking so far, content to box has been Jade Jorand.
And she'll throw her off because it's almost like the right wants to come and she'll fool you and she'll come in with that jab. It's like he sets her up like a slingshot. Irene though, not following back, not countering here, Jimmy.
Seems to be playing the waiting game on the outside, not pulling forward, but not having an answer for those combination strikes.
Jade ready for the scrap.
And a fight has broken out in La Jaula in round number 1.
Jade looking pretty good so far.
Looking excellent. We talked about the size disparity, the range disparity. Seems to have conquered that very, very well.
One thing that's been there for days, and I don't think it needs to take advantage of, is that left leg of Jade, that inner thigh. She would kick it a lot more. She could break it down, but not seeing it. She's not using it. Maybe throwing it once or twice, and you're going to see it. It's been there all day. She has the leg there. Her leg is a whole lot longer than Jade's. Why not use it?
And here was the takedown, sort of an inside trip from Jade Jorand, but an illegal knee led to a restart. But look at these combinations. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, accurate, powerful. Only thing she hasn't been able to do is knock down Irene Cabello. Excellent chin so far.
Great stuff so far from Jade.
We get ready for round 2. Jade Jorand so far able to keep this fight in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, one time Jade, she trained in Dublin, Ireland with the SBG. Home of Conor McGregor.
Who? Oh, yeah, that guy. Oh, yeah. that guy, yeah. Great team of fighters in Dublin, Ireland. They'll teach you about that boxing.
And now she's with the Verdun Training Center in her home country of France. Jade using those kicks.
Talk about going to the lead leg. I think she may have heard you.
I
going with that
think so,
inside.
yeah,
You can take credit for it. You can take credit for
it. Sure.
Jade Jorand taking the center of
Morse
La
code,
Jaula.
Jimmy, Morse code.
And then Irene Cabello if you're her coach, Irene Cabello, if you're her coach, are you saying, hey, change levels and get this one down, commit more to the body locks? Right now, this distance kickboxing not working at all for her.
No, a lot of space in between. And what I love about Jade is she sees it, she comes in, and she quickly moves out, comes in, quickly moves out.
Never there to be hit, never a stationary target.
Look at that,
Your
ran into
artillery,
that jab.
She's gone, yep. Quick, accurate, powerful jab.
Going on her toes in the open scoring, Jimmy.
And it is no surprise at all. Although judges do often surprise me, but 9-10.
Don't get me started.
I will not. 9-10 across the board for Jade Jorand after round one. Looked like a MMA, a kickboxing match with MMA gloves. As long as she keeps firing those combinations, and look at the footwork, always out.
And I was about to point that out, you know, right on the tips of her toes, and unlike Irene, very flat-footed. Oh, trying to go to spinning fist, elbow.
Ramon spinning stuff now, but here's the deal, is that being flat-footed can help you with the takedown, but Cabello hasn't committed to that either.
And it's there. It's right there, Jimmy. Look at that leg right there.
And a very
If she
tall
could go
stance.
really low,
Yeah.
go for the ankle pick,
Yeah.
why not?
Jade Jorand standing comparatively tall. Not really worried about the takedown so far.
Good way of checking those kicks, too. You saw that?
Excellent work. Checking is one of those things you work in the gym. It's not an
Yes.
instinct you just have to turn your shin toward a shot, but
It has to. It has
Jade
to
Jorand
be
well
yeah.
trained.
It has to be those things like a cat that you always
knee.
land on your feet. You know, it's that type of habit.
That knee to the gut from Jade Jorand. Irene Cabello finally getting this against the fence, trying to be offensive with the body lock. Can it lead to a takedown? Halfway through round number two.
She's had some success in the clinch, Jimmy. Those shots to the ear, oh boy, that's...
Annoying is the word. They just
sure.
suck. Also, Jade Jorand, patient in this position. She wants to adjust like that, circle off the fence, but here's where that size disparity, the advantage of Cabello, you can take advantage of it against the fence, but good movement from Jade Jorand with a knee.
She's fast.
On the
She's sneaking in those elbows too, Jimmy.
You might be looking to finish this.
And I gotta give credit, Jimmy. I know it's your first time in Combate, but our women bring it all the time inside La Jaula.
I am learning
they
that
leave
right
nothing
now.
behind. Nothing behind. The women here, they are awesome.
Jade Jorand fits in very well in La Jaula. She's found a home here for sure. I don't know how to say cage in French, but this seems to be her home.
Can we Google that? I don't.
In between rounds, we'll figure it out. Oh, another great combination, lefts and rights from Jade Jorand.
And she smells that victory.
Cabello right now hanging on for dear life with the body lock. This is what we call a desperation clinch, Rodolfo.
Yes. To slow the pace from Jade, she was going in with the striking, and the clinch was the only thing that was going to stop her.
Bit of a breather right now. Jade Jorand, though, the offense she has unloaded in round number two. She might need a little bit of a break.
There's a knot. Can't quite see it here, Jimmy, but see if our camera could go ahead and grab that on the right eye of Jade.
Not surprising.
Or no,
They've exchanged some big punches.
oh no, forehead.
And both of them were a bit lumped up around the eyes. Jade Jorand, though, pummeling inside. Coming down to 15 seconds left in round number two. A round that Jade Jorand has been dominating with her kickboxing. Now some clinch
Great knees,
moves.
beautiful knees.
Oh, Anderson Silva style,
Right
over
there.
and over. Finishing with a viciousness in round two. Wow. Beautiful stuff from Jade Jorand.
And that forehead is a big, huge mouse on Jade Jorand. Let's see if we could get a close-up of that, if that opportunity comes.
Also the right eye lumped up, working on it right now.
On Irene.
Tu m'oublies ça, t'es pas fatigué.
Lips too. swollen. And look at that replay, Jimmy. Great stuff here from Jade, just constant striking. And Irene had no choice in just a few here to bring it back to the clinch, but she ran into that right hand of Irene, Jimmy. And there's that clinch here to stop the pace of Jade, because if the clinch wasn't there, she would have kept going like a NASCAR car.
A little bit of inexperience there. Because in MMA, you run into your opponent, they can clinch you up. A little bit of inexperience there?
Sure. But if I feel confident and I can finish this fight, I know I'm winging it. I know the opportunity there, but why not? She's very confident. She's had much success.
And bouncing on her feet in the corner. If you're worried about her running out of gas, Jade Jorand right now, start of round 3, looking very fresh.
She's ready to go. Both women here.
Crowd here loving it. Univision Studios, Miami, Florida, they're on their feet. Round number 3.
Telling you, Jimmy, our women bring it.
Jade Jorand fitting right in here. She is smaller, but she has been more technical, more accurate, more powerful than her opponent, Irene Cabello.
You talk about those 80-something fights, kickboxing. I mean, she just dominated all her opponents in Europe.
Lost her first 2 fights in MMA, but has won her last 2. Looking to make it 3 in a row. She looks well on her way. Can't rest yet. So 4.5 minutes to go in round number 3.
Irene now, and this is very similar to what we saw in that last bout she has. She was more in the defense, going back instead of coming in. And there's that clinch work again, trying to stop the momentum of Jade.
But no level change, no commitment to the hips. Nothing's going to take down an athlete, a mixed martial artist with decent balance. His body lock hasn't been able to use it.
Jimmy, right here is a good chance. If she wants to take it to the ground, break that grip there, go to the ground, take Jade down. She's not doing it.
That's the size advantage.
Yeah.
Looks like she probably has the strength advantage, but not been able to get anything done these few times she's had her opponent against the fence.
Could it be the condition, Jimmy? That's another thing too, that ring rust. That comes into play. Yeah, she's been training, but when you've been out of action for some time, we've seen some that have had some success, but if we can look at the percentage,
ring rust is a real thing.
It's a real thing, absolutely. The percentage-wise, not many come back as they were.
Jade Jorand bouncing on her toes. This has been in her wheelhouse throughout, and it's a truism throughout combat sports. I'll have energy as long as I'm doing what I'm good at. Jiu-jitsu artists can go for hours and hours, same with wrestlers. It's when they have to switch it up that it becomes difficult. This has been pretty much a kickboxing match. You can do this all night.
All night long. Look at Irene's hands too, they're not even up anymore. Every now and then they come more shoulder level. And that's just a sign of fatigue in the shoulders.
Oh, another few right hands combined with a knee.
Now look, if I was Irene, when she throws that explosion of strikes, she leaves some, because she's wild. So the chance to land in a good jab, maybe an uppercut, and then follow up with a few is there, but you gotta see it.
Look at our open scoring.
Ooh.
Wow, there's even a 10-8 round for judge number 2, but both rounds for Jade Jorand. 2018, 2017, 2018. Not a lot of surprises
and
there.
There is some blood. For a minute there, I thought it was that because of the glow, but no.
It looks like it's coming out of the nose of Irene Cabello.
Like the stuff they spread in EDM concerts, but no, this is blood, folks.
Aren't you too old for that? Can't we got that reference?
We got what
we hip with the kids? You're hip with the kids.
Oh, we got Ultra in Miami, man. Come on, get with it. I do a little,
I'm too old. I'm too old.
No Cascade.
Nope, just jiu-jitsu for me.
Dead Mouse.
None of them. That was
Swedish House Mafia?
In my early days. But let's get back to the action. Jade Jorand trying to make her way off the fence. Irene Cabello leaning on her, taking energy out of her. A takedown again for Jade Jorand this time. High guard from Irene Cabello. Going rubber guard.
Okay.
Setting up mission control position.
Well, she has a minute and change to go if she wants to get this victory. This is potentially the best opportunity that she's had all night.
Closest it has come. Irene Cabello trying to get something done with a flexible rubber guard, but only a minute left. Jade Jorand has controlled this fight the entire time. Slick kickboxing, accurate combinations. finding some groundwork. And Jade Jorand staying on the ground. A little bit surprised there.
Right, and even ground game. I got to give it to her, at least with the wrestling on the floor. She transitions well. Anytime that she feels she's going to get caught in something, she'll move around, work her body weight really well, working the guard, landing in some shots there.
Yeah, no fear so far from Jade Jorand.
Positioning her hips so Irene can't do anything.
At 30 seconds left, can Cabello pull the upset with the late submission in a fight where she has been dominated? No chance she wins on the judges' scorecards. We have open scoring here. We know that for a fact. But can she get this up? 15 seconds left. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. But Jade Jorand throwing to the end. And a fight she has under control. She's not letting her opponent off the hook. And the crowd here loving it as we end the round and the fight.
That's awesome. Never. These women in Combate, man, they always bring the fireworks.
Incredible stuff.
El Jefe is inside La Jaula, and that means one thing, Jimmy. It was a good fight.
You told me earlier that is the code. And right now the boss, Camel McLaren, thrilled, but what do the judges see? We'll find out right after this. And we are back at Combate Global, and Omar Amador will make this one official.
Después de 3 asaltos de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of mucha más acción, the judges are all in agreement. Los jueces están todos de acuerdo para la ganadora por decisión unánime, for the winner by unanimous decision, Jade Jorand.
The face doesn't always tell the story of a fight. It does in this case. Jade Jorand, excellent job, unanimous decision. She moves to 3-2 in her MMA career.
Great display of work here for this young lady. All the way from France. As I mentioned, the family members are always in town when this young lady competes. That is awesome. I'm sure her family back home watching this stuff, very excited. Jimmy, let's take a look at this stuff right here. Great clinch work from Jade. And when you talk a kickboxer, not too much of it in kickboxing because it doesn't exist. It's more in Muay Thai, but she is now a mixed martial artist where you have to be able to use all your tools. Great knees right here. But the story goes when she just goes on a fury of strikes, and it's nearly impossible to stop that young lady.
And look at that joy on her face, hoisting the French flag. She is welcome here in La Jaula anytime with a performance like that.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff.
And it was not even close. Total strikes 195 out of 230. Incredible accuracy and also a ton of power behind so much of her attack. It seemed like every time she threw, she hurt Irene Cabello. Great stuff.
I would have loved to see how many knees she threw because she threw a ton as well.
I also happen to disagree with the takedowns. Jade Jorand landed on top. She was the takedown artist in this one. But great accuracy, great power, great versatility with her offense. Now, will we see that in the fights coming up? That's the question.
This is the main event. Gavidia right now getting that shot one more time inside La Jaula. He's coming back to Combate Global. He said it, forget that first bout. I'm a different man. And Justin Vazquez from Miami, Jeremy. Should be a good one.
De mucha más acción, te invitamos de artes marciales mixtas que te hará vibrar cada semana. Llama ahora y consigue tus entradas de forma gratuita. No te lo pierdas, te esperamos ya.
Welcome back to Combate Global. All the action we have had, it all leads up to this. Alejandro Gavidia versus Justin Vazquez. Late notice, but a great opportunity for Alejandro.
This is it, right? A multiple winner in jiu-jitsu tournaments in his home country of Mexico. coming back to Combate Global first time around. He said, forget that fight. I'm a different man. I have more experience now. Let's go to a package.
Me considero un peleador que estudia mucho, que a falta de talento ha tenido que trabajar muy duro. Creo que soy un peleador muy inteligente, cauteloso. Cuando necesito ser agresivo, soy agresivo. Representar a México, representar a mi país siempre ha sido algo increíble, ¿no? Algo que al menos con cualquier deportista sueña con hacer alguna vez en su vida, ¿no? Lo que caracteriza el estilo mexicano es pues ir para el frente, ¿no? No rendirse, es parte de la vida. Así como peleas ahí arriba, tienes que pelear en todos los aspectos de tu vida. Siempre seguir adelante, pase lo que pase. Justin, vamos a tener una guerra. Espero que estés listo. Yo vengo a finalizar la pelea. Espero que tú también.
So intensity from Gavidia, but when you talk to his opponent, it's cerebral. Vazquez is a thinker. He likes to break fights down and make it anything but emotional. Think we see that contrast in the fight?
Yeah, listen, when you look at Vazquez, he's a chess player. That's pretty much what he is inside the jaula, right? You never know what he's gonna hit you. But Gavidia needs to figure out that puzzle to move and get a victory.
Si quieres disfrutar de mucha más acción, te invitamos a Combate Global, el evento de artes marciales mixtas que te hará vibrar cada semana. Llama ahora y consigue tus entradas de forma gratuita. No te lo pierdas, te esperamos ya.
Welcome back to Combate Global. Justin Vazquez is a guy who came up from the bottom now. Not just trying to defeat his opponent, but trying to climb to the top of the mixed martial arts world. Not bad for a guy who was sleeping in his car, and he'll never forget it.
Yeah, he'll never forget that. And now he's main eventing this fight card, the first one of Combate Global in 2023. That's money.
When I'm at the top of the ramp, right before I walk into the cage, I feel like that's probably my most nervous moment. Once the fight starts, that all goes away and I'm able to get into my groove. I love the feeling of being the hero of my own story. That's exactly what that feels like. I am a creative fighter. I always got new tricks to pull out. I'm always bringing in a new flavor to my next fight. I've been doing this for more than half my life. It's literally the only thing I want. I don't do holidays, I don't do birthdays. The only thing I want is to become a world champion. Not to underestimate my opponent, but I'm looking to get either a first round or a second round finish. I'm really aiming for that.
He is a quiet man, Justin Vazquez, but he leaves it all in La Jaula every single time. The only thing better than seeing it on television is coming and seeing it live. Join us here at La Jaula.
Si quieres disfrutar de mucha más acción, te invitamos a Combate Global, el evento de artes marciales mixtas que te hará vibrar cada semana. Llama ahora y consigue tus entradas de forma gratuita. No te lo pierdas, te esperamos ya.
Welcome back to Combate Global. We are ready for our main event of the evening.
Haciendo su entrada a la jaula, making his way to la jaula, Alejandro Gavidia.
And right now, you are looking at Alejandro Gavidia before what he considers the biggest opportunity of his career. It would scare a lot of people taking on a fighter like Justin Vazquez at short notice. He has not talked about it that way at all. Great opportunity for him.
He takes a lot of grit to come in on the jaula on short notice, but he's up to the challenge, training out of the N-Tram gym. A former home to a champion right now that's competing in the world of mixed martial arts. But he is very confident in himself. He said that once he got that call, he quickly got online, started looking at Justin's video. He didn't waste any time whatsoever. He's been reviewing it and reviewing it and reviewing it. I think the advantage that he has is trying to figure out that puzzle, trying to throw off Justin, because he even said, look, he's a creative fighter, but if he can figure it out, I'll be able to put this together. A multiple champion in Jiu-Jitsu in Mexico, he may have the recipe to figure out Justin.
A simple style, can he make it work? Let's see about his opponent. Take it away, Omar.
Y ahora hace su entrada su oponente. Now he made his way to la jaula. His opponent, Justin Vazquez.
Some people have black belts in jiu-jitsu. Some people have black belts in taekwondo. Some people have a black belt in intensity. I've heard that from a lot of trainers. This is a guy with a black belt in intensity. Can't say I'm wrong.
No, you're right. Absolutely. When you look at this guy, intense. Look at him. You can't even tell. No emotion whatsoever. And mind you, the vast majority of people in this building are for him. We can't even tell. But he's dedicated. He told himself in a previous fight, hey, if I win this fight, then I know I belong inside La Jaula as a mixed martial artist. He's ready to carry on that right here tonight. And look, he has a lot to move forward on. Manolo, his coach, his birthday was yesterday. They probably held the cake until tonight. He gotta get this victory first before they eat it.
This is a guy who talks about what he misses in order to be a professional, in order to be a champion. We'll see that on display once the bell rings.
Caballeros en audiencia, ladies and gentlemen in the audience. Estamos listos para el evento estelar de esta noche. Are we ready for the main event of the evening? Es un combate pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos. This is about set for 3 rounds of 5 minutes. A un peso pactado de 152 libras. In a catch weight of 152 pounds. Los jueces son, the judges are Mark Strayson, James Lázaro, Richard Green. Y ahora sí, llegó el momento que se escuche para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing in the blue corner. Sube con récord de 4-2. Viene con un récord de 4 victorias, 2 derrotas. Vistiendo los colores de la bandera mexicana. Wearing the Mexican flag colors. Registró un peso oficial de 149.6 libras. He registered an official weight of 149.6 pounds. Es de Querétaro, México, Alejandro Gavidia. Y su oponente, que también está listo en la esquina roja, and his opponent that is also ready in the red corner. Sube con un récord de 9 victorias, 2 derrotas. He steps to the cage with a record of 9 victories, 2 defeat. Wearing red and black and white, vistiendo rojo y blanco. Registró un peso oficial de 151.2 libras. He registered an official weight of 151.2 pounds. Es de la casa, from here, de Miami, Florida, Justin Sleek J. Vazquez. El referee para este combate de Panamá, Marcos Pérez. The referee for this match, Marcos Pérez.
Come on, fighters. Fighters. Alto, ¿ok? Ya saben la regla, quiero una pelea limpia. Siga mi comando, ¿ok? Choquen guantes y vayan a su esquina, por favor. Okay.
And we are underway for our main event. Bell about to ring to signal the start of round 1. Alejandro Gavidia versus Justin Vazquez.
Fight!
There's such an interesting story here with Justin in his last fight. They had a great moment in soccer, Jimmy. After a match, right, they exchange jerseys. He exchanged a flag with Lupe, the Mexican flag. He says he has a lot of respect for the Mexican culture, just like he has his opponent here, Alejandro Gavidia, who took this fight on days' notice. And you got to have respect for an opponent like that.
You have to respect the gamesmanship, for sure. You have to respect that someone is a gamer. Gavidia is a gamer. Also, he has a style, jiu-jitsu heavy, pressure heavy. Doesn't change his game plan necessarily for any one opponent, so he has the right style to take this fight on short notice. And remember, he said, I was getting ready for a fight, I'm in great shape.
And that's exactly what he's doing, right? He's taking him right to La Jaula, trying to bring him down. Got the lock there. Justin, though, very composed, very relaxed. Sure, he wants to go ahead and keep this fight on the feet and strike, but Gavidia just tight.
Also,
Justin,
if you can't get away from an opponent's grip, at least make them expend a lot of energy trying to get you down. And right now, that is what Justin Vazquez is doing. Consistency with the attack from Gavidia.
Gavidia there putting on his body, trying to bring Justin down. Unlike Lupe, Vazquez's last opponent.
Oh, great balance.
Who enjoyed the striking. Here's the opposite. They want to go. Gavidia wants to take this to the ground. Trying to change the levels, bringing him down. Maybe a slam, and there's that takedown, Jimmy.
Yeah, double leg takedown. Going into that Khabib mermaid position, keeping the knees together. Great way to advance position. Not where Justin Vazquez wants to be, but so far, no panic on the face of Slick J.
And one thing I want to point out, Jimmy, is yes, we have fans, but we're in a studio. You're still able to hear your corners. And look at the position where Vazquez is right now. He is listening to his coach, Roy Fundora. He's literally just telling him what he needs to do, and he's paying attention quite well.
Going to butterfly guard, trying to alleviate the physical pressure.
Which, by the way, Fundora just won a jiu-jitsu tournament, so, I mean, the momentum is going on right now. He's like, dude, I just went through that. Let me tell you what to do.
Always the active coaches are the best ones. And right now, Gavidia trying to advance position on the floor, but still dealing with the butterfly guard, the open guard of Justin Vazquez.
Gavidia still has that tightness there, not letting Vazquez go. He's like a Venus flytrap.
Exactly. Double leg takedown to the body lock against the fence.
Justin to look at that left hand, maybe working for a guillotine if he could position himself up.
I know Vazquez just looking for a way out of this position. You know, Gavidia talked about Justin Vazquez being a puzzle. Right now, it's Alejandro Gavidia presenting the puzzle to Vazquez. How do I get off the fence without getting taken down again?
Look at that arm. He's not letting go of that left arm.
Fishing for the guillotine, but Gavidia doing a great job. Control the hips, there is no guillotine. Get around the knees, there is no guillotine. He's keeping that in mind.
Keep that chin down, but Marco Perez broke it up. Yeah.
Oh my Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy! Flying knee finish for Justin Vazquez!
Jimmy Smith!
Slick J with the slick finish! Wow! Unbelievable!
Wow. We saw that last year. Wow.
A frustrating first round for Justin Vazquez right until the flying knee that turned out the lights of Alejandro Gavidia.
Well, we talked about it, Jimmy. It could either go the distance or it could be a highlight reel, quick finish. And that's what we got. And listen, all credit due. We got to respect our fighter.
I wonder
He's
what
hurt
replay
right now.
we're going to get.
Look at this. Is this a little Masvidal?
Beautiful little
baby.
Look, the right knee goes up, the left right behind
Doesn't that remind you of it?
Double knee.
Same thing. Only thing is he didn't have his handbacks.
Didn't do the hand back, but beautifully executed. Look at the height from Justin Vazquez.
Holy cow.
Wow. Wow.
Man, oh man.
They're attending to Alejandro Gavidia.
Yeah, that's in
straight to the jaw. Did it. Got the win in emphatic fashion. Couldn't have gone much better for Justin Vazquez. He records another win in La Jaula. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Combate Global, and you just saw an incredible knockout. Flying knee. Justin Vazquez got everything behind both knees. Beautiful accuracy, beautiful power. Wow. That was the kind of statement win that he wanted from the beginning.
That he made that statement right now, Vazquez. What a phenomenal victory. Flying knee, but right now is that. Let's make sure here that Gavidia is going out as well. It seems like they're bringing in a stretcher there. Look, that's the sport, right? It's a dangerous sport. We know that. We know what's at stake. Our hat off to Alejandro. I hear the fans there clapping, so.
Usually means the fighter's back on his feet. He's
Our
being
prayers
checked
to
out
him.
now.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
He is conscious. He's being set up. And the idea that Justin Vazquez, if you wanted a move to put fear in the heart of the opposition, he just did it with a beautiful flying knee knockout. But there is more to come. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Combate Global. As you see, Gavidia back to his feet. Justin Vazquez, of course, celebrating his win, but respectfully celebrating it. The sportsmanship he showed, hugging Gavidia on the ground, making sure he's all right, is the two sides of this incredibly complicated sport we call MMA.
That is sportsmanship, and wow, glad to see Alejandro on his feet. Vazquez, I mean, just a phenomenal victory. There's no doubt right now. Sure, that'll be going viral tomorrow morning or in just a few minutes, because what a vicious flying knee, Jimmy.
4 segundos del primer asalto. Una rodilla fulminante y un knockout espectacular. 3 minutes and 24 seconds into the first round. A spectacular knee that generated a knockout for the victory by knockout. Justin Slick J. Vazquez.
There is good, there is great, and then there is scary in combat sports. That man, Justin Vazquez, is scary. There's no denying that.
And you can't really figure him out. You never know what he's going to hit you with. As that Indio Taino blood, he does have some Puerto Rican in him. Of course, representing the United States. But boy, oh boy, I'm sure that Justin, what a phenomenal victory for him once again here in La Jaula. Coming off that victory against Lupe Perez, and now with this win right here, wow, I mean, right now this man has to be climbing up the ranks.
I was about to say, and you just took it. The sky is the limit for him. Cerebral, smart, a thinker. Now we know he has knockout explosions that can take out just about anyone. But there's more to come. Welcome back to Combate Global. I would hate to maybe go after the Rolling Stones. I would hate to go after a prime Jimi Hendrix, but that's what's in store for our next fight. Ramon Vizcarra versus Ismael Zamora, the Kraken. Both guys desperately need a win, and to go after that, a vicious flying knee knockout, the pressure's got to be on in a lot of ways.
Tough act to follow, but I'm still having my money that this is going to be fight of the night. They're both evenly matched. Slight advantage for Vizcarra when it comes to the ground game, but Ismael is hungry for that victory. He fought many times last year. He wants to carry on. He told me he wants to fight 4 times this year, and you know that's not very common in MMA. You get your champ maybe once, twice a year, but 4, 5 times in a year, that's almost unheard of. Chris Lieben, he took a fight, what, 2 weeks notice? Not that many guys do that. This guy has a lot of guts, a lot of heart.
Well, in the modern era, it is almost unheard of, that kind of schedule, but let's find out about both of these fighters and their struggle tonight to not just win, but win in emphatic fashion.
Para mí es muy importante el MMA porque es algo en lo que he logrado destacar, aunque me haya costado trabajo. Mi nombre es Ramon Vizcarra y vengo de Mexicali, Baja California, México.
Es lo que me apasiona. Yo creo que a mí Dios me dio un don y me hizo talentoso en este deporte. Mi nombre es Ismael Zamora Martínez y tengo 22 años de edad.
Soy un peleador que ya sé que va siempre hacia enfrente, siempre estoy movido, nunca estoy estático.
Por supuesto que yo ya tengo un plan, por supuesto que yo ya tengo una estrategia y principalmente yo voy a ejercer el ritmo de la pelea.
Lo que yo espero de esta pelea es un dominio total.
Yo estoy esperando una pelea dura. Yo quiero finalizarlo a más tardar en el segundo round. Yo espero buena resistencia de él, pero lo voy a finalizar.
Welcome back to Combate Global. We're about to find out not just how good these fighters are, but also whether or not I can trust my broadcast partner, Rodolfo Roman, who predicted this would be fight of the night.
Last year, I know you're new to the game here in Combate Global.
Yeah, it's all new to me.
I tend to be kind of accurate when it comes to fight of the night. Predictions, I'll leave that to you. You're pretty good at that. But fight of the nights, I got my money in this one.
And that's the interesting thing here. It's the motivation of both guys. I agreed with you upstairs that we thought it would be because of the motivation of both fighters. Is that why?
Yeah. The momentum is there. Ismael wants to come back, get that victory. Vizcarra, momentum. When you put those two together, it makes a fun fight.
Well, you called it. We'll see if you are correct. You say you are the prognosticator, that you always pick the fight of the night. It's my first time here, so I'll kind of believe him.
What are we betting anything?
What do you want to bet?
Coffee.
On me.
All right, I got
All
you.
right.
We'll do the
On
coffee.
the winner, we'll see if we have the fight of the night coming or if I can't trust the guy to my right. We'll find out right after this. Welcome back to Combate Global. It has been an amazing night of fights, and we keep on rolling with our final fight of the evening. It is the Wild Boy, Ramon Vizcarra versus the Kraken, Ismael Zamora. You predicted, my man, fight of the night.
Fast pace, great striking from both these dudes. It could be a difference, though, is Vizcarra decides to switch gears and take it to the ground. That could be the big difference, but if it stays standing, we're in for a treat.
Well, let's go to Omar Amador to get things started for our final fight of the night.
Haciendo su entrada a la jaula, making his way to la jaula, Ramon Vizcarra.
There's a face of Ramon Vizcarra. This is a guy who struggled early on in his career. It still is early on in his career, but there's something about getting past that hump. He's now 6-4. He's above 500. He's won 2 in a row. You start believing, I can do this. I can be a success. That is the high he is taking into this fight.
His last fight was a victory by way of decision to Victor Cisneros, who also had great jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But he shut that down. And then previous to that, Ulysses Molina, we talked about that guillotine choke that he had. Very impressive stuff to do. And then you have to go back to June of last year when he took on David Zellner. He lost by way of unanimous decision. So, listen, he's had a lot of wins here by submission. That's going to be what he needs to do in order to get a victory over Zamora, the Kraken, who is coming off that defeat against Azim Zhu. So this is it. I mean, he's ready to go. He's carrying on the momentum. He's a full-time fighter. In fact, sometimes he's a personal trainer, and sometimes when you're a trainer, you learn from your students, right?
You do everything you can to learn every moment you're in the gym, and that's where he lives.
Y ahora haciendo su caminata a la jaula, now making his entrance to la jaula, Ismael Zamora.
Ismael Zamora trains with the Bone Breakers. He is so disappointed his last time out in La Jaula. His opponent, 1-0 in MMA. Very decorated kickboxer, but he never seemed to find his balance in that fight. He was taken down, he was outstruck. He never seemed to get mentally into that fight. Very, very frustrating because he spent his whole career in the Combate Jaula.
Well, he trains out of the Bone Breakers, which is home to the champion, the bantamweight champ, David Martinez. And I'm sure he had a good conversation with him. And it's, as you can say, never underestimate your opponent. If you think he's a stand-up guy, don't trust it, because he can switch gears on you, and he might hit you with something else. That's why it's called mixed martial arts, Jimmy. Don't expect what you think you're gonna expect. And that, he was met by a rude awakening, as in Zhu, a kickboxing guy, was just taking him down.
Now, he has said his opponent, Vizcarra, brings that Mexican style of boxing. He says, I'm a more well-rounded mixed martial artist. That is key.
And we're about to find out in just a few seconds as we go to our Jaula announcer, Omar Amador. Oh, sorry.
And look at the age, 22, Zamora, 5 years younger than Vizcarra. Not much of a height difference, not much of a reach difference. Could be about maturity.
It could be about maturity, that age difference, that 5-year gap, and then that 1-inch slight difference there in height.
Y ahora continuando con mucha más acción. Continuando, we are again with mucha más acción. Estamos en este compromiso pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos. We are set for this fight that is a 3-round of 5 minutes. En la división de las 135 libras, in the division of 135 pounds. Los jueces son Richard Green Jr., Mark Streisand, James Lázaro. Y ahora, Damas y caballeros, ha llegado el momento. The moment is here para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing the blue corner, wearing green and white and the Mexican colors, vistiendo verde y blanco, los colores mexicanos. Sube a la jaula con récord de 6-4. He steps to the cage with a record of 6 victories and 4 defeats. He registered at a weight of 135 pounds. Registró en la báscula 135 libras. De Mexicali, Baja California, México, Ramon Wild Boy Vizcarra. Y su oponente en la esquina roja, que también está listo, and his opponent in the red corner that is also ready. Steps in with a record of 6 victories and 4 losses. Entra a la jaula con récord de 6 victorias, 4 derrotas. Registró un peso de 135 libras planas. He registered at 135 pounds and is wearing black. Also representing México, vistiendo negro, también representando a México. De Mexico City, México, Ismael Kraken Zamora.
All right, let's clear the cage. Bring it in. Ok, quiero una pelea limpia. Escúchame todo el tiempo y cuídate todo el tiempo. Si quieres tocar guantes, toca ahora. Buena suerte a los dos.
Ramon Vizcarra looking to keep the momentum going in his career. Ismael the Kraken Zamora looking to re-establish himself and get momentum back.
Yeah, the Kraken tends to start off very fast-paced right from the start. And the Wild Boy, that's why he has that nickname. He could get a little bit wild there, dirty, just savage inside the pocket. Let's see if they exchange. And look at right there, Jimmy, right from the start, exchanging, not holding back.
As Zamora have no problem moving forward. He is in the black trunk, Vizcarra in the green trunks. Oh, maybe a bad check there.
Right.
Looks like his right leg is hurt.
It almost like it gave out.
Yeah. Seen that many times, a kick and a check, and what goes wrong with the kneecap. He's holding on tight though. We'll see if he can still use that right leg.
Zamora going to the clinch right straight to it. To slow down the pace of Vizcarra.
What is Ismael Zamora talked about? I'm more well-rounded. I don't just bring a pressure striking style. I can do it all. These clinch positions are his opportunity to show that.
And this is it. And against Hassan Tzu, you know, he wasn't having much of an impact in that clinch work. Because Hassan Tzu will quickly switch it and take him down to the floor. But here, we're okay so far, what we're seeing.
Yeah, it's like in his last fight, he just didn't expect that tactic. He thought he was facing a kickboxer, didn't have any ground skills. I think you can learn a lot pretty quickly.
It's the name of the game. You learn all the time you're in there. But you know, that's what you put in the work in the gym, Jimmy. You know, even though you think you're gonna get this, you're end up gonna get something else. Like going on a blind date. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, no idea. No idea. You can't expect your opponent to not have the skill set. Zamora shrugging his shoulders, saying the foot stops aren't gonna do it. Vizcarra now against the fence. Both fighters seem content to work in this position. Neither one breaking off, trying to get back to the center.
They keep switching in that clinch. They got to bring it back to the center of La Jaula, do some exchanging. And look, we've seen both these guys compete in here. They love to strike. They're not afraid to hold back. But there's that level of respect, right? They know what they're capable of doing, especially in the striking.
It's been a long time so far in this over-under position. Both fighters battling to keep their back to the center and not the fence. This just burns out the arms, the shoulders. This is a very fatiguing position for both fighters.
Gets you just dreaded. Very tired. Look at Ramon now, just flipping the switch here now, having the advantage.
But Vizcarra not dropping his hips, staying high with the body lock.
Vizcarra's corner.
Left leg, huh?
Yeah, he's telling him to do that leg trip to bring down Zamora to the ground.
Something we didn't expect so far this first round, or more than halfway through.
Yeah,
It's been chest to chest the entire time.
I really thought that it was gonna just striking right from the start and maybe loosen up midway right to the clinch. Well, here we go, Jimmy. This is what I was telling you about.
Now we have a little bit of space. Who will use it? Under 2 minutes left in round number 1. Nice uppercut. Back into the takedown, going single leg.
Vizcarra trying to attempt that takedown. He's not giving up on it, Jimmy.
No, he's staying strong on that right leg. Vizcarra burning a lot of energy trying to get the takedown to no avail. Ends up with his back to the fence.
A lot of clinch work so far in this first round for both. Transition, clinch. Shoulder shot there from Vizcarra.
Well, we're definitely testing to see who did their cardio and their grappling work. Because if you haven't, you're gonna be dead start of round 2.
Good underhooks there. And then you hear the corner of Vizcarra double. To turn him and go for the double leg. A good way of Zamora defending his space. Keeping in those elbows tight.
So far, this looks like a wrestling match with MMA gloves on. Greco. I mean, no one's really
right.
dropped a lot of level
here. Not even freestyle, Greco. There it is, a single leg.
Just got no success so far with this attack.
Well, I gotta give credit to Zamora. He has been training his wrestling, right? I mean, he has a good takedown defense. Right. There's that takedown defense, shutting him down.
Difficulty is a tough round to score. 20 seconds left. It's been all grappling all the time. Neither fighter really getting the advantage.
And the way that the judges have been scoring this, you don't want to leave it to them. Great kick from Wild Boy.
A little bit of striking to end round number 1.
Cásalo con las manos. Es todo lo que quiero. Movido para lo que...
Cerramos. Nos quedamos. No quiero estar contra la pared. Quiero que lo gires, güey. Lo que estás trabajando.
Welcome back to Combate Global. It is round number 2. Ramon Vizcarra versus Ismael Zamora. WrestleFest in round number 1. Will that change?
In between rounds, Jimmy, I was listening to the corner, and Zamora's corner told him jab, jab, cross. On the opposite side, Vizcarra said, use the leg kicks.
So striking advice for both fighters. After a first round that was chest to chest, but no takedowns. Difficult one to score, and they're seeing who can throw leather harder. That's how they're testing out round number 2.
Now back to the clinch. Started off with the striking. The corner, they're trying to figure out to switch it.
Nice short elbow. Yeah. Ismael Zamora in the black. Ramon Vizcarra in the green and white. Nice uppercut, elbow over the top again.
Clean striking from the Kraken.
They don't call Vizcarra a wild boy for nothing.
No, he really is. Or that clinch work, Jimmy. What we saw in that first round.
What's a little strange is Zamora having some success on the feet and yet initiating
and then he gets to the clinch,
not breaking off.
Why not keep it going?
Stay where you're winning. It's open scoring. 2 of the judges have it for Ramon Vizcarra heading into round 2. Judge number 3 has it for Zamora. Oh, good right hand.
And that was hard to judge in that. The mass majority was just clinch.
Could have gone either way. It looks like Zamora starting to realize that he has the superior striking.
Watch the fingers. Watch the fingers.
Dirty boxing galore.
Nice
head
kick. Yeah.
The problem is a wild boy Vizcarra off balance. Oh, beautiful body
I think he
shot.
got rocked there, Jimmy.
He did. Front knee. Ismael Zamora working hard to get this finish in round number 2.
Vizcarra desperately searching to take the fight to the ground. He's holding on to that leg, Jimmy.
Going heel hook, but hips not in the right position.
Zamora needs to push off of it. There he is.
Like he heard you. Good sprawl.
Transition right to the back.
Turn and burn, getting around the body.
Knee.
Vizcarra starting to take some serious damage. These clinches are starting to turn into desperation from Vizcarra.
Ramon's corner telling him, use your feet, use the kicks when you get that chance. And you see how he's trying to push him off, trying to use more of those kicks.
Ismael Zamora going after the ribs of Ramon Vizcarra.
But what I've seen from Vizcarra is though he'll throw, but he gets very sloppy. He's still keeping on to that single leg, but this one it just didn't go his way.
Another leg lock attack, but takes some high-level jiu-jitsu generally to pull off an attack like that in MMA. And so far we haven't seen it.
Yeah, in
from
good way.
Ramon Vizcarra.
In good way of Zamora to protect his hands, not leaving him out there so he can grab it.
No fear of the ground and pound. Zamora going after it. Crucifix position. Hard to keep though in half guard.
Well, Vizcarra, a good way of trapping Zamora's leg, not to get that full crucifix, right?
Exactly. Not able to step over all the way, but still the pressure on Vizcarra in round number 2.
Little elbow there from Zamora. He's trying to desperately get that side. And there it is. He got it, Jimmy. Oh.
We had it.
He had
just
it.
a second.
But Zamora's not letting go. He's adamant of keeping that leg.
Yeah, Vizcarra hanging on to the leg, but good job by Zamora.
Great
spinning
stuff.
around to the back again.
Oh, he nearly had that left arm from Zamora, but Zamora escaped.
Now, sloppiness on both sides. You know, it's like they briefly get a dominant position, but can't hold on to it.
Vizcarra just hanging onto the leg, trying to take a bow with the leg. It's just not, it's not there. Though Zamora's not giving it. Maybe a slam.
Finally,
there it is.
A takedown for Vizcarra. Only 30 seconds left to go in round number 2.
What will he do here, Jimmy? He's wrapping
Zamora
those legs
turning
around.
his back, doing the exact wrong thing at the exact wrong time. Vizcarra now on him like a backpack, but 15
like
seconds
a
left.
Nelson almost there, right?
Good job from Zamora to end up on top.
Well, he's definitely changed up his game, Jimmy.
Good ground and pound from Zamora to finish a frantic round number 2.
Okay. All right, up, up, up.
Welcome back to our final fight of the evening. Final round, Ramon Vizcarra in the green and white versus Ismael Zamora in the black trunks.
Vizcarra very honest. His corner told him, hey, I think you lost that round. You need to pick up the pace. As for Zamora, his corner told him, look, he's coming in. As soon as you see him, land in that uppercut and work your way through with that jab because he keeps coming in. And he's right. See how he quickly moves in? That's a good opportunity to just hit him with the body shot because he's going to go for the takedown. You know he's going to do it.
Couple of excellent right hands over the top by Ismael Zamora. Ooh. It's like Vizcarra, it has these bursts of energy or explosion, but you can't string together an offense with it. Oh, beautiful knee.
I think that took him down, Jimmy.
Could have landed flush enough. Vizcarra seems to be in a bit of trouble. Ismael Zamora pouring it on.
Good opportunity for Zamora to push Vizcarra closer to La Hala, and he could just work his way, just land shots. Yeah, it's pushing him in there, Jimmy. Closer and closer to the Hala.
Edging him toward the fence.
Pinning him.
Yeah, good physical pressure from Zamora. Yes. Just as you said it, physical pressure led to that overhand right. Vizcarra trying to get it done now from close guard.
Just pinning him away.
And this position's so fatiguing if you're on bottom. It's like an avalanche of rocks coming down on you.
You do desperate things, use your feet to push off. Anything you can find, grab an arm for an arm bar, a triangle, something.
Zamora right now dealing, it seems, with all of the pain of that loss last time, right? All the lessons it taught him. He paid attention in the gym. He's taken out right now on Ramon Vizcarra.
He did his homework, Jimmy.
Watch those fingers. Cuidado con los dedos.
Referee warning him to be careful with the fingers in the cage. La jaula.
Ramon Vizcarra has to get some distance now. Under 3 minutes to go in round number 3 of a round that so far controlled by Ismael Zamora. I agree with Vizcarra's corner. He lost round number 2 and just on cue, right? We have it tied on 2 judges' scorecards. Another has Ismael Zamora up 2 rounds to 1. It's all about, 2 rounds to none. It is all about this round. And Zamora right now fighting like this round is crucial. 1 hook in.
Now Zamora looking like the jiu-jitsu expert. Crank there. He might let.
It's hard to finish with 1 hook. Need a lot of hits to finish it. Yeah, needs to get the other hook in order to get enough pressure to finish that crank.
And a better body lock too, Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. See, a little inexperience of Zamora on the ground. Knows what to do, but the little details make this kind of position so dangerous, and doesn't quite have that at the moment.
Zamora still hanging on to that leg.
Beautiful.
Yeah, great
circle
stuff.
and sprawl.
Yeah. Textbook wrestling right there.
Yep.
Always keep that those hips down, positioning himself, wrapping around. Good stuff. Yeah, look, he did his homework, Jimmy. You know, he learned his lesson. This is called improvement, folks.
And Vizcarra looking for an exit that wasn't there. Ismael Zamora all over him. Just over a minute left to go in round number 3.
Vizcarra desperately searching for something, maybe a triangle choke, something.
Trying to stay active with his guard, certainly trying to stay mobile, but hasn't really come close with any submissions. We're now under a minute. Ismael Zamora fighting patient, exploding just like that when he needs to.
Maybe hoping for an up kick.
Oh, nice pressure again from Zamora. Bringing his body down on the legs of Vizcarra at the right moment.
Referee keeping a close eye.
His hammer fist is keeping Vizcarra moving. No knockout blows yet.
And he's trying to wrap, maybe a desperate move for looking for an arm, something.
But with just about 10 seconds left, it looks like Ismael Zamora has done enough, more than enough, to secure round number 3. And this fight, redemption in mind for Ismael Zamora.
Después de 3 asaltos de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of mucha más acción, vamos a las tarjetas. We go to the scorecards. Judge Richard Green Jr. sees the bout 28-29. Judge Mark Streisand sees the bout 28-29. And Judge James Lazaro sees the fight 27-30. All for the winner by unanimous decision. Todos para el ganador por decisión unánime. Ismael Kraken Zamora.
No surprise there, of course, a decision win, unanimous for Ismael Kraken Zamora. That does a lot to overcome the disappointment the last time we saw him in La Jaula.
I owe you coffee, by the way.
You do. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll have a word with them. Yes, absolutely. This definitely builds the momentum from Zamora back in the winning column. Let's take a look back here at the action. Now, if you talk about the ground game, there was some action, right, in the ground game.
I appreciate some good jiu-jitsu. Don't look at me like that. I appreciate some jiu-jitsu.
But let's look at the here Zamora. He wanted to keep the fight on the ground, but Vizcarra desperately searched for that ground game action. He just couldn't find anything, and it seemed like he lost more of his energy midway through the fight. Zamora was just having a field day, picking apart what he wanted to do, landing shots in this position from guard. And listen, Zamora's going back home with a W once again. Kudos to you, man.
It was a night of incredible action. This fight, once they got past the clinches of round one, a lot of strikes. 137 landed for Ismael Zamora. A couple takedowns for Ramon Vizcarra, but not able to use them effectively. Too many scrambles, too many times. Ismael Zamora ended up on top. That was the story of the fight.
Yeah, I think Vizcarra just wasn't too confident with his striking. His corner kept telling him, kick, kick, kick. He'll throw it once and then he'll go straight down to what he feels more comfortable, which is the jiu-jitsu. But little did he know that Zamora had been doing his homework. He learned his lesson. Great transitioning. Anytime that he thought he was in trouble, he'll switch it apart.
Under 10 fights. You don't look for wins, you don't look for losses, you look for development in the gym. We saw that from the Kraken tonight. He had learned his lesson from his last fight.
He sure did. We saw it right there. Just textbook jiu-jitsu, groundwork, found his way, how to transition if he found himself in trouble. And heck, he even found an opportunity. Maybe it was this close to landing his own submission himself.
And we had a great night tonight, of course. Jade, Jorand, outstanding performance from here. Beautiful knockout in our main event. Flying knee, Jimmy Smith. For my broadcast partner, Rodolfo Ramon, Campbell McLaren, everybody behind the scenes at Combate Global. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.